Today David has asked me, what is this project called NOVA that University of Minnesota plays a giant part in? Now, many of you know that Fermilab is sending neutrinos underneath the Earth toward a detector in northern Minnesota at Ash River. Now, I attended a colloquium at the university about a week ago, and one of the things that they're trying to determine is the mass of the three types of neutrino. As you know, the electron neutrino, the muon neutrino, and the tau neutrino. And they're not sure what the first two, what order they're in. Part of that is because the equations involved in figuring that out have a parameter that has a negative exponent. In other words, there's an I, -1, in the exponent of one of the terms, and that makes for a lot of uncertainty about the actual solution to that equation.
We're back. Rational Funk. We're driving around Minneapolis today. We've got the dog in the back. It's Barry Sanders, my dog. He doesn't like me very much, truth be told. He's very sweet, but he has a problem with me. I don't know why.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's some energy thing with me that he's just like, get that guy away from me. And I started to realize maybe that's kind of a thing that I have with a lot of people. Well, it's every now and again, take your inventory. They say that in psychoanalysis and all these other things. Take your inventory every now and again. How do I relate to people? How am I doing with people? If, you know, I can't expect that I'm going to go far on an audition if I'm like trying out for Sting or someone, and I'm like, Sting's heard about me. He's like, I heard this guy's pretty good. Let's give him an audition. And I roll in and I'm like, hey, Sting, how are you? I like your acting as well. Love your music. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't like any of your music since you left the Police. But man, back then when the Police, and of course a lot of the reason why I like the Police is Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland, but still you were pretty good too back then. Do not do that. Don't roll in. Get to know Sting. Work out with him. Do some yoga with him sometime before you start kind of saying to him, what the f*** were you doing with that Dream of the Blue Turtles bullshit? And that's how you get the gig. Hey, we're back. Rational Funk, About Town, Part 2. Rolling through Minneapolis today. Another Guy Fieri impression is on the way. We're rolling through Minneapolis today, where they've been shoveling snow by the fucking metric ton since the dawn of time. They've been doing it this way in Minneapolis since anyone can remember. Because when the fucking Vikings landed here 800 years ago, they were like, this is miserable and cold. We're staying. Anyway, this reminds us of why we drink all the time, year round. Because we're cold and it's cloudy. Hey, I'm Guy Fieri. We're rolling out. I've been making food for people with moderate levels of taste for a long time. We've been doing it the same way. All right. The Minnesota Vikings have a new stadium going up, and it's like all glass or some shit. So basically, you can look forward to the fact that there's going to be about 6,000 dead birds every Sunday lying around the base of the stadium. All these kids come out. Daddy, that pigeon is hurt. No. Another beer over here. And you heard it here on Rational Funk. Anyway, welcome to Rational Funk, a drum instruction video that takes place in a car somehow. How do we do it? I'll tell you how we do it here in Rational Funk. Always be practicing. Now this is something that I did, and this is a real exercise to work on your time. Okay, now we probably can't turn on the radio because we'll get sued for using somebody's fucking songs, even though YouTube tries to sue me for using my own songs in the video. That's what I love about that. That's hardcore litigious society we live in America. Everyone should know. YouTube has attempted to go after me for using my own songs. I mean, Joe, what's that all about? So let's pretend we're listening to a little song on the radio here. Something by, what are the kids listening to, Joe? Something by Future Islands. Something by LCD Sound System. Something with a real steady beat. And you got it going boots, tots, doons, tots, doons, tots, doons, tots, doons, tots, doons, tots, doons. I have style. That's all I have. That's all you need. You don't need chords. You don't need melody. You need style. Ask Lou Reed. And then all of a sudden this comes out. Booch, gotch, dooch, dot, dooch. And I just sit there like this, even with the kids in the car. And I lock it with the beat. Again, I can't play a beat for you because we'll get sued, but booch, dot, dooch, dot. How do you build an internal clock? And that's what we're doing here on Rational Funk today. Always be practicing. Don't get away from the drums and go, whoo, I'm going to go and dial up the Hulu cloud and watch Weeds. I'm going to fucking practice. I used to fucking turn on pro sports and practice while I watched like pro basketball with the sound turned down. I have no idea what it did for my internal clock or rhythm, but there's a rhythm to the game. There's a rhythm to boxing. Watch a boxing match with the sound down and practice to it. These are ways you can actually seriously get a lot of practicing done at the same time, you know, challenge your attention span on some level. You know, I truthfully used to do this. This is a real thing. And, but I always try to work on my internal clock. Let's say you got the blinker going, right, Joe? Do the shaker with the blinker. Locked. Do you hear that? Did you hear that? Because I started playing the shaker, and the shaker was louder than the blinker, so you couldn't hear it anymore, and I'm just playing. This is something for all you click track people out there, people that are learning how to play the click tracks. You don't follow a click track, you play along with a click track. As in, you don't compensate and overcompensate. The whole idea is to play with it like you're playing with another instrument. Listen. Tap, two, tap, two. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding. I recommend carrying a shaker in the car. The louder the better. And I recommend doing this, you know, whenever you have the turn signal on, pull your shaker out. Let's try it again, Joe. And lock in with the sequencer. Okay? This is a great way. We call this blinker sequencer. Right, Joe? Joe and I will sometimes, you know, take our medication, and we never drink a pistol whip before we do this. Here we go. Ready? Can you hear that, Joe? You hear that? Locked. Now triplet against it. Oh, that's locked.